In early May 2023, I began working on a brand new ship in Stormworks. This ship would be completely different than anything that had come before it. You see, back then, either I would make ships that were completely up to my imagination, or they would be loosely based on real ships. No, this ship would be different. This ship would be as close to the real ship as possible. This ship was named the SS Eastland, and it sparked a trend that it's still going strong to this day. But just how did this trend begin? How did I get the inspiration to start making big IRL ships, really big ones at that? Well, in today's video, we're going to be talking about the pioneer, the tragedy, and the continuation. With all that said, let's get on to the first of the ships, the SS Eastland, the ship that started it all. Alright, before we talk about what inspired me to build the Eastland in Stoneworks, I do want to quickly go over its real-life history because it is very interesting. So the ship was first launched in 1903 and was quite an achievement. It was the fastest ship in the lakes, and thus it had the nickname Greyhound of the Lakes. However, it was plagued with instability problems, which over its 12-year career would see a bunch of revisions to try to fix them. Everything was done. Lowering the draft, removing a bunch of cabins from the promenade, restricting people from the top deck, and even cutting down the funnels, like they were getting desperate. I'm pretty sure all those revisions helped, however, it was all in vain, because in the 20th of December 1915, with way too many people boarding the ship, it capsized in Chicago. And in that subtle disaster, 840 people lost their lives. Truly unfortunate. Anyways, let's talk about Stormworks now. In order to understand the Eastland, you must first understand the circumstances that led to its creation. You see, way before I even began work on the Eastland, I was inspired by the video from Part-Time Explorer on the ship itself, and I really wanted to have that ship in my favorite game, Stormworks. However, I'm pretty sure when I searched for the SS Eastland in the workshop, I was disgusted, absolutely disappointed by the horrible creations that other people had made. Naturally, I tried to make it myself. My first attempt was pitiful. All I did was take a small ship that somebody else had created, gave it a superstructure, and called it a day. Well, unfortunately, that ship was nothing like this. This image perfectly shows the difference between the two ships. The ship in the front is the original, my first attempt at the Eastland, and in the back it's the Eastland we all know and love. However, it is of an older version. The one redeeming quality about the small Eastland, which is actually called Unknown Thanasis, is that because it was so small, my friends who had weaker PCs could also spawn it in, so we could actually play multiplayer together in a quite decent ship. But that's just about where all the good things about the small Eastland ended. It was completely different to the real ship, not only in size but also in general layout, and it just did not quite suit my needs. I wanted an actual one-to-one scale, a truthful representation of the real ship in the game. So that's why I began work on it myself, because nobody else was going to make it in the workbench, and I quickly realized if nobody else made it and I was the only one who had it, then I basically had a monopoly. So I quickly began building it. While I haven't documented much, there are still some surviving photos which show the ship in its early stages. The first one is from May 6th, and it shows what is probably the first sinking of the ship. Yeah, remember, this ship has a sink button, so I had to trial that until it was perfected. To this day, it's not really perfected because it needs a bunch of explosives, but whatever, we're getting ahead of ourselves. And well, it shows the ship in its very, very early stages of construction. 4 days later, on May 10th, this photo was taken of the Eastland with the Andon Thanasis next to it. And all seems good, right? All seems good. Progress on the ship is quite nice. Well, it's about here in mid-May, if I'm not mistaken, that I kinda started to lose focus on the Eastland. Yeah, once the real hard stuff begin to take place, then you kind of lose motivation on the thing you're making. Now, don't worry. Over the 3 year lifespan of the Eastland, I have worked on it for quite a lot, and it is quite a developed ship now. I have made multiple videos on it on my channel, and of course, it's available on the workshop. So if you're interested, you can go and check it out. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the Eastland. It's the ship that started it all. Now it's not getting a very fair treatment, just being abandoned and forgotten. The Andrea Doria is a lot more well known than Eastland, so I'll only go over her history briefly. In 1953, in Italy, recovering from World War II, launched the ship to fix its mercantile marine fleet. The ship was quite decently sized, and in my opinion, it is the pinnacle of the Art Deco design. The ship had a successful 50 round voyages in the Atlantic, with its 51st not being so successful as the Swedish American Line's Stockholm ship rammed into its side. Now, Andrea Doria would have been fine if it weren't for the fact that she developed a very heavy list, which essentially doomed the ship. However, she did hold herself for quite a long time, letting her passengers be rescued by nearby ships. Eventually, the ship did sink and is now resting in the bottom of the ocean. That's the Andrea Doria for you guys. Now, I have talked about the SS Andrea Doria before on the channel, and how this is actually my second attempt. My first attempt was in 2024, early 2024, but it was so horrendous that honestly, I think my drive getting formatted was a blessing in disguise, because it meant that now I have built a newer, far better version of the SS Andrea Doria, far better. So yeah, this is why I've called the ship a tragedy, because at first, yeah, it was kind of tragic that I lost it, but it's okay now. I have built the second version, which is far better. So really, I guess it's more of a phoenix if you think about it, dying and then coming back from the ashes. Although this ship is a tragedy for a different reason: the lack of work being done on it. You see, because the SS Andrea Doria is just so massive, so much bigger than anything I've built before, I just struggle to make the internal areas of the ship. Much of the interior of the ship is just empty, an empty cavernous space. There's nothing in there. You'll see occasional corridors in there, but overall, there's not much in there. And that's the problem, really. I do want to add, like, at least the popular areas, the areas most players would go, at least, like the main lounge, the dining room, the public areas, a few corridors, and maybe some staterooms to give people an idea of how the ship would be. However, all that is just not happening because it's so massive, and I really find it difficult to get work done. So yeah, this ship is a tragedy. I do wish one day I can fill the ship up with all the rooms I want to add, and it will be of the same quality as other famous big ships in Stormworks, like the RMS Titanic and other such ships. However, for now, the ship remains in limbo. Too big to be worked on, too grand to be abandoned. It truly is remarkable. The RMS Empress of Ireland is the newest ship I've begun making, and I have to be completely honest, I am truly amazed at just how much progress I've been able to make. So far, this is the third day I've been building this ship, and I'd say the exterior is almost complete. Not only that, this ship also features an actual sinking. By pressing the button, you can simulate a sinking. It takes roughly 17 minutes, and while it may not be exactly like the real ship's capsizing, it is kind of similar in the opening stages and the general feel of the sinking. Maybe I'll change it in the future to be an actual capsizing, but I don't know. The ship is quite stable so far. But yeah, honestly, this ship has been going quite well. Its construction has been going quite well. Really, my motives were just I wanted an old ocean liner, relatively big but not too big. And honestly, the Empress of Ireland perfectly achieves that. There really isn't much to say about the history of the RMS Empress of Ireland. It was a decent ship, constructed in 1906, serving up until 1914 when it had an unfortunate collision with the Storstad and capsized close to the St. Louis River in Canada. Also, do you guys think that it may be a coincidence that all of the three ships that I've built happen to have sunk due to a capsizing? It may not be a coincidence. It may be that I really like capsizing things. Oh well. I don't know what it is about the Empress of Ireland, but I just love her design so much. The square superstructure, the enclosed deck in the aft section, the well deck in the front, all the cranes, all the davits, the lifeboat arrangement, her unique sinking circumstance, how quickly she went down, because yeah, in real life the Empress of Ireland sank in like 40 minutes. I mean, what did you expect from a ship that was quite literally rammed by another ship? A ship that had an inverted bow, so it was cut deep. Yeah. But in general, the RMS Empress of Ireland and her sister ship, the Empress of Britain, I think had just about the best design of the 1900s. Just such a cool looking superstructure, such a boxy superstructure, yet still kind of curved in the front. They're just awesome ships, and big for the time too. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. You see, with me beginning work on the Empress of Ireland, it meant one thing, that I would stop focusing much effort on the SS Andrea Doria. Which, I mean, to be fair, at the time I had stopped working on the Andrea Doria. However, it does mean that I will officially not be working on the Andrea Doria because I will be focusing on the Empress of Ireland. So yeah, don't expect much work on the Andrea Doria. So, is this where we end off? 3 legendary ships that I recreated in Stormworks? Well, no actually. You see, I haven't even finished the third one, or even the second one for that matter, and I've already started looking at a potential 4th ship. And you may think I would go for something small, something easy after all I've been through, but no. I think I'm going to go with the 1960 SS France, a truly beautiful ship of massive proportion, 350-meter length. Oh boy, this would surpass the Andrea Doria as the largest ship I've built, and it will truly be grand. I don't expect to make much interior of it, however, the exterior alone will more than make up for it. Well, there you have it. 3 grand ships recreated in Stormworks, each one making the creation of the next one even easier as they came. And with the potential 4th one being even more grand than them, what isn't there to love? Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was hard for me to put it together, but I hope it pays off. Of course, if you did, make sure to like. If you want to see more from me, subscribe. That's all I had to for you today. See you next time.